What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Pastor Mike, aka 90s number 5, and I want to welcome you to the 11th hour where we talk about youth, family, and community. Let's get it popping. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Hey, first of all, I want to give a shout out to my son who with Jackpot Productions for that nice little beat right there at the beginning. He's been putting it down for me. I went to him one night and I said, man, I need a beat for this podcast I'm about ready to do. And he was like, Dad, I got you. I got you. And man, this is what he came back with. I'm telling you, Jackpot Productions. So I want to send a shout out to my middle son, Mr. Dorian Davis. For that hot beat on that track. All right, all right. So today we're gonna talk about family, family. Once again, this is the 11th hour, and the concept of the 11th hour comes from Matthew 21-6, where the landowner in the late evening goes to the workers who are kind of just standing around. They're not doing anything. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. And he said, "What y'all just kind of hanging out for?" And they all like, "Well, because ain't nobody hired us." So he puts them to work. So in the 11th hour, our young people and even some of our families and even our communities have to make some decisions on some things that we have to do. And so the 11th hour come by because I think our young people, they're not so much at risk as they are in their 11th hours, that they're trying to make the right decision for their life. And today we're going to talk about families, because sometimes families are trying to make the right decisions for their family. And I'm telling you, man, family just doesn't seem like family like it was back in the day. Everybody was family almost pretty much back in the day. I remember I grew up in an era where, man, you could get a whooping from one street to the next street to the next street to the next street, because they gonna tell on you, the next door neighbor gonna tell on you, your cousin gonna tell on you. So everybody get to whoop you on the way home. So it's not like that no more. You get a spanking from somebody in the neighborhood, and the parents come out, they about ready to get on the one that's spanking the kid, but it was a kid that was out there doing stuff. So but our families, man, I really miss that family atmosphere. So today I want to talk about that just a little bit. So what is a family? I took the time to look it up, said that a family is a group of one or more parents and their children tied together by, listen to this, marriage, blood, or adoption, living together as one unit. That means we're working together to make this thing work. So everybody has to be a part of the unit. Everybody has to be a part of the unit. Everybody has to make it work. It's not just one person making it work, it's the whole unit. One of my favorite movies, I don't know if you've seen it or not, one of my favorite movies is Soul Food. Every time I see that movie, not just because of the food, but because they try to work together as a family. There's some ups and downs and ins and outs as families, but for the most part in that movie, now every time they sit down to eat, now that reminds me of Sunday dinner. Like my mom used to throw down on Sundays. Like, man, I mean, ain't no telling what you would have. Of course, you're gonna be in church all day, first of all, but then she whipped it up before or that Saturday night. And when you came home on Sunday after all day at church, you sit down and you'd eat as a family. We would sit as a family, we'd pray as a family. We used to play ball all the time as a family. We'd go on trips as a family. There's just a lot that we used to do as a family. I just know in my family when I grew up, because like I said, I'm the youngest of five. I'm the youngest of five. And so unfortunately, a lot of times I got the butt end of everything. But my brothers and sisters was always there for me no matter what I went through, except for that one time me and my brother got into it. But for the most part, they was always there for me. I could always go to my sister about something. I could always go to my brother about something. And it's not always, I love my mom and I know my mom loved me, but sometimes having that brother or that sister that you can go to, because we work together. Christmas morning, or whether it's Thanksgiving, or whether it's a birthday, or whether it's just a rough time I had at school, or I need to study for a paper, or my sister beat my, well, let me excuse me, I got to be politically correct, or my sister helping me get back in the house late at night with a switch or a broom, or telling me, it's too late, you need to come back home. We work together because my mom worked, a lot. So my sisters had to step up and play that role. But that's okay, because as a family, that's the journey of a family, is that we're supposed to do things together. Now, I don't know how you grew up in your family, and I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and say every family was perfect, because every family dynamic is not perfect. There are some families that are not, but for those families that have the love and have the patience and have the peace for each other, that's the point, and that's the purpose. Is that family, we need to remain together, because if we split apart, then it's hard for us to become, or it's hard for us to be as fruitful as we want to be when we're separate. It just reminds me of the scripture of John 15:5, when it talks about, that God, he is the vine, and we are the branches, and then apart from him we can do nothing. And so our job is to stay close to him. So let me read that real quick. It says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Now listen, I know, because of the love of my family and the support I have of my family, that's why I did a lot of things that I was able to do. Now, I'm not saying you can't accomplish things when you're apart from your family, but what I am saying is that when you have a family tie, when your family is in your corner, when your family is there to support you and your family is there to help you, it makes making those things a little bit easier. I like the way Bishop Jake says a father has a role in the family. The father's going to love on his baby girl. That's my baby girl right there. No matter what she does, that's his baby girl. But those boys, it's his job to get those boys in line. And the boys may not like it, but he's trying to teach you how to be a man. And TJ said that's the role of the mother. That's why you have a father and a mother, because the mother is going to turn around and love on her son. She's gonna be like, that's my baby. That's my baby right there. I mean, that joker could be doing something crazy, but she's gonna be like, that's my baby. But her daughter, man, like Bishop Jake said, she a drill sergeant to her, because she knows she's trying to teach her how to be a woman. So you have the balance of both, because they both have a role in the family. And then the kids, your role is to say, I understand what you're trying to teach me. So as we all continue to play our roles in our family, man, what a beautiful thing it is. In this day and age, and in 2021, we it's TikTok crazy and YouTube crazy and Facebook crazy. We see pictures of families that look beautiful on the outside, but we don't know what's going on the inside. And sometimes we get misunderstandings that, families, we do struggle. Like, we do, there are struggles inside your household, but if we are sticking together, we are learning to work together, we're learning to do things as a family, then we can begin to grow. Here's some numbers for you. In 1960, it says 20% of single parent homes is what we have. But in 2020, it's 80% single parent homes we have now. Man, look at the reversal that we have. And so we wonder why a lot of things are going on the way that they go on, because if we only had 20% of single parent homes in the 60s and now we have 80%, man, I mean, it's all, that's just crazy. It's astronomical to think that 80% of homes are single parent homes, and a lot of these single parent homes are headed by mothers. That's the even crazy part. Where the men at? Where they at? Where y'all at? I'm just saying, where y'all at? That's one of the things I know for me, because I can only speak for me. I can't speak for no everybody else. I can only speak for me. That's what drives me to be the father that I am. I mean, I know I'm not the best father, and I know I'm not the worst father, but I know I'm the best father that I can be, because of my life experiences, because of the things that I went through, the things that I deal with, that I said, you know what? I want to be one of those men that take care of his family. I want to love my wife. I want to love my kids. I want to be there for them, even though I'm not perfect, even though they're not going to be perfect. But I know if we can work together, because when times are hard for them, that's when I'm supposed to be there for them to lean on. And then vice versa. I mean, sometimes I have hard days. Sometimes, daddy comes home, he's frustrated. He's had a hard day at work. He's been cut off 10 times on the interstate. He's caught every single red light. Somebody cut him off in traffic. He's come home. He's had a hard day at work. Sometimes he needs a moment. And my kids are there for me. They may cook me some lasagna with some chocolate cake and some sweet tea and be like, Daddy, relax and just have a good day. Or they may say, Dad, won't you sleep in on Saturday? And so we help each other through those moments. Here's some more numbers for you. In 2020, the US Census Bureau says out of 11 million single parents with kids under the age of 18, 80% were headed by women. 80% were headed by women. So, men, we do have a role in our families. And that's what John 15 is talking about. Now, Jesus is really talking about that if we stay with God and stay connected to Him, there are some fruitful things that we can do. I want to say, men, if we stay with our families, and don't get separated or parted our families, man, what powerful things that we can do. There's some seriously powerful things that we can do as men if we stay connected to our families. Now, I may hurt some feelings when I say this because I love my mama. My mom is the best thing to me. Like I hope your mother is to you. But you know what? My mama did not sign up for that. My mother did not sign up to raise 5 kids by herself. That was not her job. I'm sure she wanted to have a husband to help her raise her kids and live that dream. I don't know if it's the American dream, but she wanted to live that dream of having a husband and having a father to her children, that we all could grow up together and just live this wonderful life. She didn't sign up to do this by herself. She didn't sign up to do this by herself. So why is it that we leave it to the women to do it by themselves? And it's not right. And listen, I understand marriage is a hard thing. It's a hard thing, and marriage is not easy. But you know what? That's ups and downs of marriage, and we can make it work. Those are things as part of family, is making things work. In the definition, it says it's a group of one or more parents, and I want to stick with the two parent and their children and their children. And it said you're tied together by marriage, blood, or adoption, living together as one unit. It didn't say as separate units. It says as one unit, which means we move together. Now, I spent some time in the military, and I was in the United States Navy, and I spent 4 years in the United States Navy. I'm not gonna say I loved every minute of it, but I do appreciate the time that I had in the military. And I start and well, I started to understand the thought of a unit. In basic training, I was out in California, and I got to boot camp, and we all kind of flew in together from different parts of the United States, and all us young men, we was in there, and they put us all on one bus, and then they shipped us to the boot camp, and we got there, and I went to sleep that night, and I literally forgot I had joined the military till them jokers came in at like 3 o'clock in the morning with them trash cans and started banging them all over the base. And I was like, oh Lord, what did I do? But we were all separate. So when we started marching, we was all kind of marching to the own beat of our own drum. We was kind of doing things on our own. We was kind of not really together as a group. But what they did was, towards the end of my time there, is that, man, they created a unit. Like, we all marched to the same beat. That's why that whole left, right, left, right, left, right, is teaching us to march as a unit, to march as one. Because if I mess up, that it's the unit that mess up, not just me. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, then I'm part of the unit. That was hard. Can you imagine taking young men from every part of the United States, throwing them together and trying to create a unit? Our families are the same way. We're all different. I'm not like my older brother. My older brother is not like my other older brother. My sister's not like my other sister. We're all different, but we are a family that we find ways to work together as a unit. If we have a problem in our family, And my sister texted me the other day. She just texted me this, and she just says that my mom's kind of going through some things right now. We're not gonna go into specifics, but she kind of going through some things. And me and my brothers and my sister, we'll get on the phone and we'll have some conversations about how we need to help and what we need to do. And then my sister, she'll hit me up and said, she said, I'm so glad to be part of a family where we all work together to figure out solutions to what's going on. Now, is it always perfect? No, it's not always perfect, but we've learned to come together and work things out. That's what a family does. We need to create more of that. And my challenge has always been, men, where y'all at? Man, come on, where y'all at? Like, let's stand up and be strong for our women. Let's stand up and be strong for our children, because our young people need us now more than ever. They need us now more than ever because they're getting a misconception of what family really looks like. And like I said, this thing is not easy. Sometimes it's tough. It is hard. I'm coming up on 32 years of marriage. And trust me when I tell you, it hasn't been easy all the time. And sometimes, it is easier just to walk out the door, just to say, I don't want this no more. I don't want to be a part of this no more. But that's the easy part. The hard part is standing there and fighting and saying, no, I'm not going to give up. This is my family. This is my wife. These are my kids. This is mine. I'm going to take care of what's mine. And so stick it in there and becoming a unit. Now, creating that unit, it goes back to the thing we talked about before, that W word. It takes work, because I'm telling you, when I was in the military, man, I'm telling you, we marched so long. Brother had some big old swells on his feet. Brother used to sweat. I lost about 30 pounds. When I came back home, my family didn't know who I was. We worked so hard as a unit. And when somebody would mess up, it wasn't the blame game. Somebody messed up, is like, brother, come on, man. How can I help you, man? Can we go work on some steps together? Can we go do this together? What do you need from me? How can I help you? And he would tell me what's going on, and I would try to help him. It's the same thing with our families. When somebody is struggling in our family, it's like, how can we help? Not how can we beat up or how can we push down, but how can we help? If mom and dad is going through, how can we help? If two brothers or two sisters are going through, how can we help? If the family's going through, how can I help? And let me throw this in. Yeah, we need legal help. Not let me just say, we need to be legally helping. Sometimes we just want to help so bad and we just go do whatever we can to help, but we need to make sure we're doing legal help. Listen, sometimes our families get in that 11th hour. Should we divorce? Should we separate? Should we do this or should we do that? But we got to come together and make the right decisions, because that's what it's all about. Because when we work together as a family, as a unit, there is no telling what we could do. I mean, that's what sports is all about, working together as a unit. That's what corporations are about, is working together as a unit. That's what the military is about, working together as a unit. Why can't we do that as a family? I love family. I love to see families out. I love to be a part of family events. I love to see those things going on. And we have to do the same thing in the same way. These statistics are crazy. I mean, out of 11 million single parent homes, 80% of them are headed by women. It's not fair for our women to have to lead our families by themselves. We need to be there. We need to be a part of it. We need to be a unit. We need to create these things where our families can experience the fullness of what God has created as far as family. And it doesn't matter if you're adopted into a family, if you're there through blood, and most of all, if you're there through marriage. Now, I may be a little bit older, which I know I am, but the Partridge Family, the Brady Bunch, Willis, you know, the Jeffersons. I don't know about Fred Savage because it was just him and some of them jokes. They were tripping, but they were family. TV doesn't really put on families as much as they used to. Our society doesn't really talk about families the way that we used to, but I do, because I know families are important. Families are important for our children because our children need to see stability. They need to see that. That's one reason why I strive so hard to stay in my family, because I want my two sons to get married and be dedicated fathers and be dedicated husbands. And the only way they're going to do that is that they got to see that. They got to see that in me. They've got to see me get frustrated. They got to see me get mad. They got to see me get upset, but they also got to see me love. They got to see me be compassionate. They got to see me be gentle. They got to see me open up to my wife, and they got to see me play that role as a father. So I don't always beat them down. I'm always there to support them, to encourage them. I'm always there for them. I'm there for my wife. I'm always there for my kids. And not only that, I'm always there as much as I can for my community. So this is your boy, Pastor Mike, aka 90s number 9. This is about families. This is the 11th hour. And I want you to decide, if you know that you're a man and you're trying to do what's right, man, I just want you to hang in there. Don't give up. Don't give up. Stay in there and fight for your family, no matter what happens. Hit me up on the Nicholas Foundation website. You can go there and check me out for what we're doing there. You can also hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, and all those great things too. Once again, it's your boy, Pastor Mike, aka 90s number 5, and I'm out. Peace.